Is AEW officially declaring war with WWE? And why are fans not happy with AEW? Guys, we're going to talk about it all in today's video right here on Destination PW. Welcome back to DPW. It's your boy Ango, youtube.com/destinationpw. And yes, we are talking about it. AEW decided to air a commercial during the very first live episode of NXT on USA. And of course, it sounds like a pro wrestling war is truly brewing. Now, while that may be surprising, it was actually even more surprising to see AEW fans take to social media and share some of their unpleasantry with AEW. Now, I actually understand why fans would be upset, but I think what it's really coming down to is the fact that we saw a really good product from WWE NXT. And I think pro wrestling fans are starting to finally get excited about wrestling again. And AEW fans, who also happen to watch NXT, are starting to realize NXT could become a very serious threat. Now, me personally, I am not too bothered by the idea of a AEW commercial being aired during NXT on USA because, quite frankly, with pro wrestling, it's a competition, right? Like, they are going to be competitive. And if you're AEW, it is kind of a smart business move to advertise your show during one of the hottest times for pro wrestling. So, yes, people are upset, but why they are upset, I think, is even much scarier. So it seems like a lot of fans were on Twitter, especially on my timeline. They were talking about why they didn't want to see AEW do something as petty as that. And a lot of them were voicing their opinions and saying, look, it's cool, but you guys need to be able to coexist, and it shouldn't have to be petty shots going back and forth. Just put out a good product. And I always go back to what CM Punk said in Chicago. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, he said at StarCast, don't let the billionaires try to convince you that there is a pro wrestling war. In fact, CM Punk said, wrestling is good everywhere. WWE, Impact, ROH, AEW, just go watch it. And he's right. He's ultimately right. I'm a fan of both. I think a lot are doing great, but I think NXT had a really, really good show for their first ever show. And that wasn't even a full 2 hours on the USA Network. It was just a glimpse of what we can expect. And I think that's what makes it so incredibly amazing for NXT. And that's why I think fans are upset. I think fans are starting to realize WWE can be really good when it wants to be really good. And I think fans are starting to realize that things may not be as big for AEW now that the size of the explosive feedback from the fans. Obviously, there was a lot of hype for it, and people are starting to realize maybe AEW may not be that big. I don't agree with that. I want to make that clear. I think AEW is going to be a very big deal in pro wrestling, but I don't think they will beat WWE, and nor do I think they should try to beat WWE or want to beat WWE. And that's why I'm actually not too mad at the idea of the fact that they had a commercial air during NXT on USA. I think it's pretty fun to kind of poke the bear a little bit, and I think that's exactly what these companies are going to do. They're going to see what they can do to remain competitive and remain relevant. This is the closest thing to a pro wrestling war since WCW. So just kind of keep that in mind. AEW is going to have to bring the fire, but WWE is ready to bring the fire as well. It was very evident by their very first episode. But I was shocked. I'm not going to lie. I was really shocked to see fans on social media kind of be upset about that. I understand why they're upset, though. And look, it's not that big of a deal. To some people it is, but we just got to get out of the mindset that this is a pro wrestling war. I get why people feel it. I get why people are excited about it. But ultimately, you guys got to enjoy pro wrestling for what it is. AEW versus WWE. It's an exciting thing happening in the world. I don't know which ones I'm going to watch live and which ones I'm going to watch on DVR. It's tough, but it makes sense. In the last video, we talked about AEW taking out the Wednesday night part of the TV show name. And I think if AEW can't start to kill it on TV, you never know. They might switch nights. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe it's not a good idea competing with WWE this soon. But ultimately, I don't really care. I just want some good wrestling. And I think AEW is going to bring it. I think NXT is going to bring it. I think this is a really, really fun time in pro wrestling, guys. So AEW is asking for war. They are starting it off by airing a commercial, and WWE's response is a women's championship match between Shayna Baszler and Candice LeRae on the same night, October 2nd, as AEW's debut episode on TNT, in which Rio versus Nyla Rose will be competing for the women's championship. Ultimately, I think we all know which match is going to be the better women's championship match, but we're going to see what happens, guys. Hey, for more information, more news, destinationpw.com, youtube.com/destinationpw. My name is Zango, youtube.com/destinationpw. I'm going to say that a million times. Guys, click that subscribe button. I'll see you next time. Peace.